Hello everybody and welcome back to Shadow of War. It's been, I don't know, a week or so since I've had the ability to sit down and actually record something without any sort of real effect to my tiredness level. I pressed on from the first area and I did not record any more of the actual story mission stuff because it's pretty long and it takes a while, and I don't know if that's something you guys really want to see, but I'm just going to go over some of the stuff is slightly different about the game, and then I'm at the point where we can start to see the sieges, which is the real big addition to this game that has been made on, and I'll go over that as we go about. But as of right now, this is my Talion. Pretty neat. I do like that the armor and swords and everything actually plays a cosmetic deal into the game as you play. Granted, it doesn't go over into the cutscenes, but that's a little thing. It's not really that big of a deal in my mind. Well, anyway, big additions with your inventory stuff, and I did say that I was going to buy one of the loot boxes so you guys can go ahead and see. I went ahead and got some in-game currency. You can see it up there in the top right. I don't really know. Well, I know what's going to come out of it, but it's not... In my mind, the loot chests, they're just not really worth it, but once we get there, I'll show you. I'm pretty sure we covered this before, but right now, I have on all legendary gear. They're not all the same, tier and stuff, but one little thing that I did notice, that of the actual items you can get, because you have your epics, your rares, and your standards, which are the white guys to start off with. They do kind of level up as you complete the little tasks assigned to them, although I don't think that anything above or anything below legendary can keep leveling up, because I've already leveled up this sword once. It was the first legendary sword that I obtained, and it was about level 15 or something. I can't remember what it was. And then I completed the task, and it's like, hey, now you're a level 20 sword. It's one of my better ones. It's not exactly the best, but I'm enjoying it so far. The next thing, so it'll continue to level up as I get higher on. Right now, my Talion's about level 25. Yeah, level 25. So it'll level up again. I don't know how high it will level up. I'm assuming because it's a legendary item, there's not doubles of it, so it can level up to the max level that any item can be. That's my guess. Now, it'll be a while before I figure that out, because even so, for this past week, for the little bit I've been able to play, I don't know, that first day I ended up playing something like 10 or 12 hours or so, including the time that I had filmed. And I completed the first area, and I was, I don't know, level 15 by then. So I've only played off and on for about 30-40 minutes a day, and here I am with this guy now. But I don't remember if I went over this. I don't think I did. But each item can be socketed with a gem that increases its efficiency. Like this green one has health steal. Reds increase damage with weapons or followers, depending on what you socket it into. It doesn't specifically say. It just kind of highlights something it's actually affecting. And then this white one can either drop the standard in-game currency from enemies, or these other bits increase armor, or armor increase 12% XP. Yeah. But right now I have it in the ring. We did get the ring back at the end of the first area, so that was something. I feel as though the whole time that they had it was not necessarily needed, but hey. I actually do wish I had recorded the fight at the end of that battle, at the end of that area, because that was actually neat. I wasn't expecting it, and we'll probably get to see more of it here later on, but we'll go ahead and keep pressing on with this so far. But you can also get, in the post to your bow, you can wield your hammer, you just chuck it, and it's like a a bomb going off. I'll show some of the gameplay with some of this stuff too, and I'm about to go over the skill trees and explain some of that, but yeah, it's neat. And the armor does change as it levels up, and so does the weaponry, so as it gets higher the cosmetics change slightly. Where was a good one example? Here we go. Oh, I get rid of it? I think I did. Oh no, it was rare. So, this is a perfect example. All those gold highlights into it used to be grey. So, little cosmetic changes. And yes, it does have better armor, but I don't particularly care for its abilities by comparison to the legendary armor I'm wearing currently. But I do like that they took the time to do those little changes in between each little piece. Shows some effort on their part, and you know, it adds a little something to the game, I think. Okay, so this took me a little while to get used to. I wasn't expecting it to be as in-depth as it was, and I started not to have some of the abilities that I had unlocked originally, and the reason for that being is that, as you can see, each one of the items that you can unlock has little subcategories that you can do. Now, I had believed originally that you could have just all of those equipped, but that's not the case. Essentially what happens is you unlock the parent skill, and then you can use a sub-skill, one sub-skill. So you unlock it stays unlocked forever, so you can change in between. Like, say I didn't want to have this, what is it? Basically a faster might gauge, but it drains completely once you stop hitting people. Say I wanted to have might for each kill remaining undetected. Now that one's activated. And so I went for the first one each time you damage in combat. So anytime you hit someone or someone hits you, you'd gain might. That could be useful. I tend to like this one better though, just because I end up being a lot more aggressive in combat than I probably need to be. Just glad one guy, and the Nemesis system is great for that. I'm just glad that the one guy that I was fighting for a while finally died. I killed him like 7 times. He kept coming back. It was irritating. He killed me like 4. But yeah, we got the 6 trees, and obviously the story one's at the bottom, so this one's unlocked by story progression, not necessarily by your own ability, and the rest of them you can unlock just by using. And I do have the ability to fly a drake, so we're going to go ahead and do that at some point tonight so that you can actually see what that's like. Although, I mean, you're riding a dragon, or sub-dragon drake. Kind of neat. Probably still the most OP ride though is the Graug, because those guys are just big and just monstrous. They crash through everything. But each ability has its own little pluses and minuses. I have been using stuff that just make me more efficient, basically. I could go over each particular item if you guys like and discuss how they work and what's better and what's better in my opinion by comparison to what others might think. But I don't really believe that's necessary. If you're interested about it, I definitely will, but it's skills are skills. Everyone plays their own way. I tend to be, again, more aggressive. So, take a drink. Here's how the market works for that stuff. It kind of lets you know what you're going to basically get in each one of the boxes, and there's different types of boxes. Olog Reinforcement, or Reinforced War Chest, is specific to, I guess, that character? I don't know who Olog is, or do I? You see that one guy you get? In this first area, once you acquire the domination skill, you get to pick up a chief essentially for free. No, that's Bruise. And yes, Bruise is the guy that was in the E3 video that everyone loved, and he was so funny and had a bunch of wit to say. Apparently, I got him. I don't know if it's a standard across the board. I'd imagine so, because they took the time to have such a wonderful voice actor go ahead and do his actual lines. But I don't know. I don't talk to anyone else who's played the game so far. I tend to just roll through. Anyway, I imagine Olog is just this fellow for the market. He just sells stuff. And there's the bundles. It'll let you know how many types of war chests, all that, and apparently it's a discount because it's a bundle. So, difference between war chests and loot chests. War chests also have orc followers in them. So, let's say you wanted to stack your ranks, so to speak. Because I'll go over that part when we get it, but you're able to basically buy orcs, legendary orcs, or rare orcs, or however you want to call it, and just drop them on the field for you. I mean, there's not much reason to do it, in my mind, unless you really just want to make things easier for you. But this game's basically, as the bits I've been playing, is basically about the grind. So, dropping followers just seems, I don't know, unneeded. But loot chests are exactly that, loot chests. So you get gear pieces at varying levels of success. But we'll go ahead and I'd purchase... I'll purchase the legendary stuff because I honestly don't want to really have this in-game currency anymore. It's bothering me. So, what did I get? And these are all legendary items. So, we have the Arcane Bow, Armor of War, and each have their own unique abilities. Thrashing Cloak. Ah, that's neat. And a sword. Sword of Horrors. What? Ooh, 28 health recovery and crit hit. After a brutal execution, melee attacks can inflict cards for 10 seconds. That's neat. Quick throw instantly kills fleeing grunts. Nice. And then apparently I also get an XP booster that lasts for 2 hours. All of this stuff you can acquire in-game. You just have to find like legendary people to fight. I mean, not the XP booster, but this stuff you can just find people and they'll kill them. And we'll go ahead and just get the war chest too. Also, the stuff in this gives you training orders, which is a particular skill that you can just teach an orc. Like, say you want an orc to have a fire weapon. If you have a training order that has a fire weapon, he'll have a fire weapon from now on. It's neat. I don't know if you have to buy those though. It doesn't seem like it'd be something. Oh, man. So you got the big guys this time. Well, that's useful. Upgrades a follower to legendary. So they go from epic or whatever to a legendary character. What do we got here? Azgang Rockskull. So as with before, when we went over this, everybody has their own vulnerabilities and their strengths. He's clumsy. I don't know how someone would grab him. I guess mounted. Fear of execution. It's arrow proof. Enraged by acrobatics, so if someone vaults over him, he's going to get pissed. He's an epic trapper. And that's the difference between like most legendary characters and standard characters, is the epic traits that they get. And he's a cursed weapon. Cool. Machine tank. Beast fodder. Immune to stealth. H Shadow Strike. Oh, can completely heal himself during battle. No wonder. But yeah. So, in a nutshell, that's really what the chests do for you. You get items or people, and in order to actually drop one of these guys off, because I'll go ahead and just do that, you can see up in the garrison I have, was it 9? I also have a loot chest I haven't opened, but that was a Vendetta loot chest, and I'll go ahead and open it, but I'll explain what it says. Now there's online vendettas, so if someone gets killed anywhere, you have the ability, a mission pops up on your screen that shows you a vendetta target, so you can go after him and avenge essentially the person that's online. Who's that? Well, that was a long conversation. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Right, I was going to drop that guy off. At least I think. Anyway, you pick a guy. I'm just going to go ahead and use him. You deploy him. And you can go between regions. Like, say I wanted to go put him back in... what is that? Come on. Well, there's a couple areas anyway. But basically every area that you unlock, you can deploy one of your guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and deploy him here. And now you have a legendary captain of your own, just in wherever you want. And it's kind of unfortunate because you're also dealing with the situation of you're building armies now. So say you wanted to replace, I've already got one legendary guy in there, found him on the field, but say I want to replace this guy. Now I've got a legendary captain that I could just put him there, and he's just increased my assault force to 201 from 190 something. And it replaces just a standard epic guy, like he wasn't anything special, I don't think. Who was it anyway? I can't remember. These guys are already in it. This guy with a shield, was it you? No, it wasn't him. Anyway, and so these are the guys who will lead your assault. And this is the menu, so it unlocks just like the skills. Like say I wanted to give this guy, apparently his spot has siege beasts, so you have to buy them with in-game currency, the white stuff. For the life of me, I can't remember what it's called right now. Figure it out later. But you buy the abilities and you equip the one that you want to try and make your siege most effective. And we'll probably go ahead and do that during this video, so we can just kind of see together what a siege is like, and I'll end it right afterward. I don't think I'll go much further, and honestly, I may not do any more videos on this unless you guys want to see me fuck around with the Nemesis system, because you know, it's kind of fun to dick around with those guys. As is right now, I have literally all but one guy is mine, and the rest of them I killed. Mainly because they wouldn't follow me. But the map is much the same. It's a big area. Yay. There's stuff you can get on it, acquirables, lost artifacts, Nurin, Gondor, what have you. There's Shelob memories. There's towers to destroy. There's memories from the Bright Lord, so he'll actually unlock skill points, and you go through his siege on Mordor the first time, and they're little neat things. The Ithilden, so the Elvish words that unlock like the secret door that have something in it in this area. I don't know where it is in this area particularly. It's probably somewhere like up here. Probably. Looks like it might be in the Barrows. Okay, let's just go do the siege. It'll be fun, I think. Really?
I'm gonna crush you!
Hey. Off. Wow. Apparently, I don't want to throw a guy off a freaking building. That's an option too.
So, who do you fancy bringing along besides me?
Siege is upgraded, we outrank him like almost 100%. Let's have some fun.
My black speech is a little rusty. Actually, I don't know a single word, which is a pain in the ass, but to hazard a guess, he said you're all gonna die horribly. My kind of black.
Well, I will handle the Overlord. You...
Define focus.
He did such a good job with his voice acting. So now, here we are, in the nice mission. I've got 4 captains doing stuff. I've got Graug helping me out, because one of the guys has the ability to summon one. It seems like what we have to do is capture the... Oh my! Oh that! There goes one of my guys. I'm gonna shoot. I really did not see them killing off one of my guys that quickly. How the battle can be turned that quickly? That would be interesting. Alright, so I captured 1 point.
Went down just like you planned it, boss. Easy as cutting down calves.
Ripper gear this lot has. Maybe I'll pick up a sword for myself. I could use a new toothpick.
Pick your teeth later. Right now,
you
we
guys
need
are
to take the
both
fort.
Righto, boss. I'll chew my way right through it.
Since he dropped his gear, I'm gonna go get it. Hopefully they don't start killing each other. That would be stupid. Alright. It's kind of intriguing having the ability to raid a castle like this. I mean, it's not exactly as in-depth as I thought it would be. Although I imagine if you don't get to the points, you can very easily lose all of your mates. It's like the most casual walkthrough I've ever had. Just running past everybody. It's a way out. So we get to my
They're at the courtyard!
Now this is mine.
You should have seen the look on their faces. They couldn't believe I sabotaged their fort.
Oh, that's probably... Since both of his guys were mine, I bet this mission became a shite load easier.
I fancy this fort capturing business. And once this one's yours, you'll need a new overlord. I'd like to throw my hat in that ring.
What have I unleashed?
Sure, why not?
Potential is nearly unlimited.
He's kind of like your tutorial for like dominations and running your way through the Nemesis system.
Killing the Overlord will send a message throughout this region.
I might have to do a siege where I didn't have like garner anybody on the inside. That way, so it seems a little bit easier. But let's go ahead and start this mission. I expected this to last a lot longer than it has. But here's an example. You see how his armor differs from what I was wearing. Little things.
This fort belongs to the Bright Lord now!
Can't hear anything in this.
I thought I recognized that voice.
What?
Ratbag? So much to catch up on. Where do I start?
How about your death?
What? You mean getting hit by the hammer? It's a headache at most. I mean, you want to kill an Uruk, you gotta take the head clean off. Does the job every time. Well, most of the time, I think. I don't know. Never really been sure about that.
Oh, I'm quite sure it's all the time. Allow me to demonstrate.
Bruce. Welcome. The man, he's a friend. The Olog, watch him. Make sure he don't do anything suspicious, like, you know, kill me.
How did you end up here?
Well, I was captured by some slavers, actually. They weren't all slavers. 2 were cannibals, 1 was a necromancer. Fun bunch. They captured this Olog. Oh, he was in rough shape. We were cage mates until I sprung us out of there. Olog jumps out, arms go a-flying, and then here we are, the best of friends.
Muranam Kirindu Rachanuk.
Oh, right. I should tell him about the fort thing. Thank you for that. It's kind of a long story. Ranger killed the old Overlord, now it's ours.
Ranger?
Oh, yeah, I named him after you.
I'm honored.
Well, it's been nice catching up and all, but Bright Lord and me just came by to tell you that the fort's ours now.
Right, Lord. Well, you are welcome to it, Right, Lord. Me and Ranger are done with the Overlord game. It's a right pain. You gotta feed your followers, train your followers, make sure you don't get killed by your followers. Yeah, it's a right bother.
Oh, well, your worries are over, because now I'm Overlord.
No. No, not you. Anybody but you. Whatever you need, Ranger. Me and Ranger have got you covered. Wait, Ranger. It's a little confusing, isn't it? But the point is, Bruce cannot be Overlord.
Zupaki.
So are we not gonna fight? I mean, that would be kind of a letdown so far for this.
Because we got no character openings for half weeks.
Squabbling fools.
They have their uses. You must choose our Overlord with care.
Maybe
You read my mind.
I am a mighty, vicious, what? Olog's friend.
God damn it. Well, I'm actually kind of glad that this first one was pretty easy, because that was just a huge letdown. But at least I guess it'll let us assign an Overlord to this area.
We fought and suffered, but still we stand! There is a new power in Mordor! You! In the days ahead, we We will fight other battles and claim other fortresses. But starting today, Mordor belongs to you! Mordor belongs to the Bright Lord!
That was an epic speech. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably do another video almost exclusively for our mission. Not that I mind, I mean this is still a fun game. Who to promote to Overlord? He was already there, we'll put him there. He doesn't really have many weaknesses. Becomes dazed after stealth attacks, vulnerable to stealth. And he's immune to executions. Now, if he actually decides to betray me, that would be a rather unfortunate thing, but let's go ahead and give her a try. Karosh the Berserker Master. Nice. But there's a lot of areas to take over. So I have to go spend some time in them. And then there's going to be like end game stuff as well, like the true ending. But we'll see how that goes. As for this video, that was kind of a long stretch of nothing too interesting to see, but I did enjoy talking with you guys and going over some of the little mechanics that have been differed from the first game. The skill tree, the microtransactions such as they are. You don't need to do them. Everything you can get in them, you can get in game, and you know, kind of waters down the experience, I would say, in my mind. But other than that, it's a solid game, much fun. But yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and tap that like button, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye.